One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferraro. I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Global. And where is Waldo? I feel like I'm in a different place the last couple of weeks. This weekend, some of you may remember, Natalia and I are in the same place working on some of the books that are going to be coming forth from SoulCall Global. One of them is with herbs. So be on the lookout for some updates on the herb companion booklet with Faye Birch. So we're playing in State College today. And so we welcome you wherever you are in the world. If you're watching us live right now, or if you're tuning in later, you're watching it post live, we welcome you also to SoulCall Global. This morning, we're going to dive into the idea of your face. Dive into your face as opposed to a face dive, but I need somebody with a drum is here. Face plant, all this is not the same thing. The point here is going back to the beginning, to the root of yourself, and how we can experience this, drop going back into the ocean, the wave into the ocean, this deathless, egoless state that is more alive than when we're sitting, talking, experiencing logical, rational mind. And how we do that in the ways that we explore consciousness and love on planet Earth as a calling of the soul. So each one of us does it differently. And one of the things we like to offer at SoulCall in the mornings, and I want to thank Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz and Helen Yee, our Qigong masters, for the brevity with which they offer a very deep practice. Sometimes it'll take 5 minutes just to set up a Qi field, just to get started in the practice. And then you go in and really start to do the work of bringing the energy, the light into the body, and consciously using our will and our mind and spirit to direct that energy through the body. But we ask them just to give us little snippets so that we can share with you, the viewers, what it feels like to participate with this energy that's within us and around us at all times. So what we're promising is a workshop. Many of you have been asking for a longer workshop with these two masters to really take a deeper dive and an immersion in the Qigong practice. So that is forthcoming. Look for that in the fall, coming in September, which is right around the corner. But for this morning, please enjoy, and we invite you to participate with Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz during this morning's offering of Qigong.
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to continue our inner connection through our Qigong practice. So please, either sitting or standing, be in a comfortable healing posture. Look forward, stretching the vision to infinite space, gathering all the healing Qi, good wisdom, and pulling it back to the center of the head, the mind's home, and very gently, naturally close the eyes. Immediately, the entire body relaxes and our inner essence begins to awaken. Very gently, bring the hands up in front of the face, palms facing each other. And very delicately, as if holding a Qi bubble, open up just a little ways, and then close. Open and close, hands never touching. Feel the space between open, close. Expand, contract. Open, close. Now allow the hands to move inside. Open, closing. Inside the mind's home. Open, close, massaging the mind's home, awakening our inner lighthouse. Continue. Opening and closing, massaging, awakening. Then gradually stop the movement and observe inside. Then bring the palms together, lowering into the praying hands position in front of the chest. Very gently open the eyes, smiling from the inside out, and know the more you continue, the easier the inner connection is made. So play with chi and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Play with chi and enjoy, and the feeling that smiling from the inside. Take this peaceful feeling you have right now and let these words just wash over you and through your cells. A song inspired by the poetry of Rumi. This is Alisa and Erika. Come to the root of yourself.
Don't go away, come near. Don't be faithless. Find courage in the fear. Come to the root of yourself. Love is a stranger with a language rarely understood. At home amidst danger, come to the root of yourself. Get hold of selflessness. Your ego is left behind. A lover is made defenseless. Come to the root of yourself. your hidden eyes. You are the seal on a treasure, and you're a diamond mine. Come to the root of yourself. You've come from the presence of the friend, a little drunk but gentle, and stealing our hearts with that look so full of fire. Come to the root of yourself. Surely we met before the beginning of time. The table was set. Glory, glory, oh, what a rare wine. Glory, glory, oh, what a rare wine.
You've come from the presence of the friend. It's one of my favorite lines in Come to the root of yourself. That's, of course, if you're just joining us, is Rumi, the poetry of 13th century mystic Rumi. And of course, Sufis existed before, the Islamic faith tradition. There have been Sufis present on the planet for a long time. And why do I tie into Sufism this morning when we're talking about your face? Like, surely we met before the beginning of time. The table was set. And one of the things I love about that little line there also is the line that precedes it. You come from the presence of the friend, a little drunk, but gentle, and filling our hearts with that look so full of fire. It's that look, that smile from the inside that Deborah was talking about during the Chi. When we learn that we are particles participating with waves of energy that we can direct with our own minds, our own connection. But when we direct our connection with the infinite source of all of it, we remember that we come from the presence of the friend. And the imagery that Natalia put together for that song is so wonderfully evocative of the feeling, the realization aspect of what it feels like to be human on planet Earth. And we're not limited in the ways we think. You are the seal on a treasure, Rumi also says, and you're a diamond mine. With the powerful microscopes we have access to now, when they take images when scientists use those microscopes to take images and then study tissue, body tissue, muscles, they find that it's just packed with crystals. We are light, we are crystals. And so in recognizing that, how does that serve us in our day-to-day? That's great. I still need to go to the grocery store. I still need to do all these things. What it enables us to do is if we come to the root of ourselves, we are able to participate with all of these everyday sorts of things in a different way. By coming to the root of ourselves and opening up to the infinite potential for our consciousness to reorder things at a higher level of functioning. So here we are, seemed like we were going to be coming completely clear of this global pandemic. And we're not quite out of the woods yet in terms of being able to go back to normal. And the question is this morning, do we want to go back to what the perceived normal was? And I invite you to participate with a higher idea for yourself, to get back to your own face, the face of who you were, who you are in essence before you showed up in this form, in this time, in the time-space continuum, with logic, linear thinking. Prior to all of that, this time I show up as Lisa Ferraro with this face. Who was I last time? Who was I before that and before that? Or what preceded this image? And I love this image. I'm grateful for who I am. I love my life and what I get to do. So I'm not contemplating because I'm not pleased with it. I'm contemplating it and meditating on it because I recognize there is a much greater part of me. I am like the tiniest part of all that I am. So my face, one of the songs I love to sing, and I sing it to God. People always ask me, who are you singing that song to? The song, First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. It's one I love to sing. Roberta Flack made it popular, but it was written by Ewan McCall. The first time ever I saw your face. And I invite people to co-create a meditation zone with me when we sing that song. And it's the first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes. And I invited people to sing it to themselves as a love song, to the self, to remember a time when you were able to look into the mirror, and may that have been often, to look into a mirror and see yourself as pure light, as pure love that you truly are. And sometimes that awakening to that inner light, that inner love comes from a source that appears to be outside of ourselves, but still is swimming in the same light slush of life. Could be a dog. Maybe it's the eyes of a puppy that just make you feel, oh my God, I am so in love with this puppy. Or your significant other, or a friend, or a guru, master teacher who shows you how to awaken that source within yourself. So this morning, when I'm talking about your face, I invite you to contemplate this piece with me. This piece of something taken from The World is Sound. This is one of my favorite books. And I'm going to be teaching from this book in the fall. I decided what I'm going to be teaching. And it's going to be meditation and mysticism. And I'm going to pull from some of my favorite authors who bring forth different ways to approach letting go to experience all of it. And this one, he talks a little bit about koans from the Zen tradition. So some of you, there are different philosophies, different ways of approaching this, but I'm going to use this one today from Japanese Zen masters. And they use koans, K-O-A-N-S. And I'll give you the definition they use here. Is koans are matters of fact. They are given to the meditator who then have to live with them or to deal with them. Koans are formulous questions or problems that seem to be rational and yet have no rational solution. You can solve them only by meditating. You can solve them only by meditating. So I'm going to pause there for a second. You can solve them only by meditating, because by meditation, we get into opening up the consciousness away from the habitual pattern thinking, the grooves that have been cut. When we meditate, we spread all that out. It's like, cleaning a slate and erasing a board. Remember chalkboards? Remember those? Or you remember Etch-a-Sketches? Or even if you were, rolling out, if you make cookies and you cut out a bunch of cookies, and then you get the dough that's left and just put it all together and scrunch it, and then you roll that out again fresh. Meditating creates a blank, open slate for which we allow the infinite to cut a groove of what it would most like to be thinking through our soul's calling, through our own passion at heart. What does it want for us to be doing? We allow ourselves to co-create, which is kind of what the word samadhi means from the Hindu faith tradition. When we are in our highest consciousness, we are in step and, in fact, divine co-creation at that point. So in letting go of the rational solution, like Einstein said, we can't solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. If we try to solve it with the same consciousness that creates the problem, we're only using a certain set of principles because we're not allowing for all the rest of it to come in and fill in and give us a new idea, a literal new thought. So secondhand source is what I call that. When we create or co-create or manifest from what we already are experiencing, we need to remember to always leave space for the infinite to fill in with what you don't even know exists yet, or what has not been brought forth yet. So I think about this. I'm here with Natalia, and she brought this wonderful book of words that have been taken out of children's dictionaries. One of the words is acorn. Another one is willow. Bluebell was another one. These words are taken out of children. Dandelion, if you can believe that, is taken out of the children's dictionary because we don't use the word anymore. But it's been replaced with words like blog, website, email, things that are happening now that 200 years ago, 100 years ago, we didn't have those words. So when we allow ourselves to get out of linear rational thinking and meditate, contemplation and meditation is the source of pure creativity. You can have one without the other, but one is much more all-encompassing, and it brings forth something new from the seeming void of nothingness where everything is. So that's what we're talking about, your face. And it's nothing evil, nothing good, my original face now. Nothing evil, nothing good, my original face, and now is in italics. Because when we live in the now moment and not in the world of duality, which is what linear thinking inspires, is this polarity that exists to bring forth anything to this planet. We've got this positive negative charge that holds something in place that makes it look real. So when we get away from that, nothing evil, nothing good, doesn't mean like I don't want anything evil, I want only good. Well, that's still lopsided. When we can see all of life through meditation as it just is. It's nothing and everything. Living in the now means we've won. We've become one with source at all times. So these they have no rational solution, koans. You can solve them only by meditating, and you can solve them only for yourself. You can solve them only for yourself. No one can use anyone else's solution to a koan. Were I to go and know the answer and to write it down here, it would absolutely be meaningless for others. Can you get what that means? Can you experience a time where maybe you came from a different faith tradition or an initial faith tradition that maybe your consciousness has outgrown it or the bulk of it? Maybe you've taken what you needed from that one and now you're moving on. This is what SoulCall is all about. Our deepest belief here at SoulCall is that you are the steward of your own consciousness. And we can help you to learn how to meditate and tune into the source that brought you here, and we'll take you out when it's time to go, wherever go means, or whatever that means, in this physical form. We trust that you know your own path to enlightenment. And so even if we offer things from other faith traditions, you're going to take that and use it to bring forth your soul's calling, to make this world light up in a particular way that can only have the look when you're doing the thing that has made you most come alive. So that's what this is about. So here's the thing. It's dying to the ego, the thing that we think we are, so that we become more fully the root of ourselves, who we are and who we've been, maybe through incarnation after incarnation. Who knows how that works? But through meditation, you'll have more of an inner knowing that you won't be able to describe, but you'll be able to live, being more fully present in the moment. So when you take a koan and examine it persistently, this person says, your spirit will die and your ego will be destroyed. Doesn't that sound fun? Sign me up. We're going to have a little sign-up sheet for that. As if it is a bottomless, empty pit were to open up before you, and your hands and feet can find no foothold. So Rumi talks about this. This is why I like this pairing with Rumi and koans and Sufism and mysticism. Rumi would say, allow yourself to be annihilated by love, or the ocean and the drop. Listen, O drop, give yourself up and take this ocean, which is yours. This is what this is saying. You feel as though you were looking at the face of death, and if your heart were going to go up into flames, then suddenly you are one with the koan, the riddle, and you are freed in body and spirit. So nothing evil, nothing good, my original face now. Allowing ourselves to, fully participate with what is in the moment and not deeming it good or bad. And then meditate. Go into meditation and connect to source. Monday nights, we have our Monday night meditation from 8 to 9 p.m. every Monday night. 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And we sit in silence together. There's something incredibly powerful about group silent meditation. And each one of us is connecting to source in our own way, but in that co-creation of creating the space, we create a divine resonance that is so sacred and joyful. And then we step out into the world ready to take direction from all we have access to and not just our habitual pattern thinking. If we weren't exposed to a certain thing, we wouldn't know about it. But when we connect to source, when we connect to all that is, we have access to the universe that is ours. And not just these limitations of what we see and what we feel. So nothing evil, nothing good. My original face now. I think about how we could put that idea to use through this pandemic as systems are shifting and changing. There's a lot of, again, nothing evil, nothing good. The fact of the matter is there are many people who are not willing to go back to working the way they used to work, or working at the job they used to work at for the amount of money they used to get paid. Nothing evil, nothing good. It's the fact. Why is that? If I asked 10 people, they would give us 10 different reasons, rational, logical explanations as to why or why not. But what if we are taking this opportunity to just not recreate the same thing for the benefit of the same people? What if things are starting to shift, just like global warming? I hate to say, bring this in, nothing evil, nothing good. If you're in Houston, Texas right now, and it's 75 degrees instead of 105, but it's 105 in Oregon, things are shifting. Different people are experiencing different things that have never had to experience them before. And in some way, we are all getting to experience life on planet Earth in a simultaneous vibrational reality. It's not like you read about a thing like, what is a faraway place anymore on the planet? I mean, two people in the last couple of weeks went up into space. Nothing good, nothing evil about that either. It's just, that's just what happened. We can make it whatever we want to make of it, or make nothing of it at all. Just, okay, that's interesting or not interesting. It's just something that happened. But what are we choosing to do with our soul's calling to allow a different look to the planet to emerge? Something is shifting. So what the invitation for us this week at SoulCall Global is to participate with these things in a different way. Take one line out of a spiritual text or something that inspires you. Take one line and repeat it over and over again, and then just sit with it and allow yourself to meditate, contemplate, and get yourself in a place where we're co-creating with source at all times. So that becomes the habit, is to tap in and just to see things for what they are and what they're not. They're all happening in the now. And with that, we create space. We can spread it out and not give it such deep, deep meaning that it's hard to smooth out. Allowing our hearts to be open allows us to be more porous in nature. We have pores on our skin, as I said before, and that's to allow ourselves to remember that we are breathable entities of light. So may you be the one who brings light to your world this week in the language of your heart, and may your koan be nothing evil, nothing good, my original face now. I want to know myself. I want to know who I am in the cosmos, who I am on the planet, who I am as Lisa Ferraro, who you are as you. And once that's where we meet, when everybody says we are one, that's where we meet. And how we grow ourselves out is how we get to play in this beautiful symphony of sound, of light, of joy. and the only field of consciousness, which is love. Speaking of that, Natalia is going to come join me from the next room. We're going to play
I'll
live.
be right there.
From the other side of our Airbnb in a undisclosed location and somewhere in State College, we are here having fun. Here she comes. You can always come back home. This is a song off of our Seek Her 7. Here we are.
Sorry, I had to put on my original face.
Unlike hockey, not like a face-off in the corner.
Oh, it's opposite.
It's opposite. Yeah. This song called Come Back Home. Yeah.
You can always tune your guitar when I'm
Open, gentle and slow.
Doesn't a diamond know it was cold? I came from
Somewhere,
and I will go, trusting that
Spirit makes me whole.
you can always
Come back home, come back home, come back home.
You can always
Come back home, come back home, come back home.
It's the
Place that you know you're never alone.
spiraling
Upward,
beyond
spirit and skin,
courageous and
formless, where we begin.
You can always
Come back home, come back home, come back home.
You can always
Come back home, come back home, come back home.
It's the place that you
No, you're never alone. When I am open, gentle and slow, doesn't a diamond know it was cold? I came from somewhere and I will go, trusting that Spirit makes me whole.
When I am open,
Come back, come back, come back, come back.
gentle and slow,
Come back, come back, come back, come back.
I
Come back,
came
come
from
back.
somewhere,
Come back, come back, come
and
back,
I
come back.
will go. You can always
Come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home.
It's the
Place that you know you're never alone. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back. Oh.
Look, it's real.
It's real. I know, it's really fun. It's so fun.
Lisa's not wearing pants, everyone. It's true.
I'm wearing shorts. Oh my. Yeah, it's funny when you see somebody in like flat screen and then when they get out of their car and you're looking at them, it's like, wow. It's like that Santa Claus meets the M&Ms. They are real. So I want to thank Joy McPherson for sending me I am the eye in the sky. Yeah. Really fun. So we're carrying this with us on our travels, and we might put it down in a park someplace in State College. So I hope that's not I'm sure that's safe to do. Bring from California to put it in a park in State College. We thank you for joining us this morning. Once again, if you're joining us this morning or if you're tuning in later because you've got busy Sunday mornings, we thank you for joining us with SoulCall Global. We ask you to like us, share us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us and share us on Facebook, Instagram, and share us with your friends. And please consider signing up for our newsletter. You can find out more about that at soulcallglobal.org. We also thank you for your donations. Your donations help keep us on the airwaves and offering the classes we're offering right now. We're in the middle of an immersion, a poetry class, which is excellent. When we do it again, boy, you're going to want to be part of that with Kara Armstrong. But Meditation Mondays, it helps us do Meditation Mondays from 8 to 9 p.m. You'll have to go to the website to register. The meditations are free, and we welcome donations for the meditation, but you need to get the registration link to join us in the Zoom room from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday nights. We do a beautiful kirtana up front, a couple chants, and then go deep into the silence together. So we practice what we preach what we practice here at SoulCall Global. These are the tools that we've found that help us co-create a more positive experience with our own soul's calling, like the awakening of ourselves. So we believe that we co-create our consciousness. And so we thank you for joining us, and your donations help us to do that. No amount is too big or too small. And if you have a birthday coming up, we want to say happy birthday to you. And also invite you to maybe make us one of those gift opportunities on Facebook. One of our board members started that, and that's really helping us prepare ourselves to launch into our 2 fundraising drives that are coming up for the end of the year. Our big Jazz Up the Holidays, much later, it's only July, I know. But then we also have a gift card opportunity to help people who are going back to school. We understand there is a plethora of backpacks. We don't need to provide backpacks, but there are specific items that some challenged students, like families who are financially challenged still due to the pandemic, we're going to put $25 gift cards in bags with a few other goodies so that they can get the things they need instead of us telling them what they need. You know, socks and things like this, you can choose them for yourself. We trust that people are being divinely guided by the same infinite source as we are. So your donations are going to help make going back to school a lot easier for a lot of people. So we thank you for that. Next, it's this Friday, the 30th. We are so excited to have a SoulCall Cinema presents a question and answer with the award-winning filmmaker Dorothy Fadiman. Friday, July 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have Dorothy join us in a Zoom room. You have to register for the link. It's a free event. And we're going to talk about the movie she re-released called Radiance. If you don't know anything about Dorothy Fadiman's work, she's an Oscar-nominated and 2-time Emmy Award-winning documentary filmmaker. Always insightful and very much activist to get the word out about awakening consciousness and about very real situations that are happening on the planet and how to get involved. Just some insight. But we'll be able to ask questions of her. You'll get the link to watch Radiance on Dorothy's website, and then watch it during the week anytime you would like. But then join us if you have a question or a comment you'd like to share with Dorothy Fadiman. So I believe that's it for right now. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll start this too. This is really, really fun. You just saw Natalia starting August 15th, every Sunday morning at 8:15 Eastern Time. Natalia is going to do at least a 45-minute yoga. You want to talk about it? You're here.
I'm always here. Hi, everyone. Yes, come join me Sunday mornings before SoulCall Sunday live stream, and we will inhabit our beautiful, glorious human forms to be in union with mind, body, spirit in a beautiful asana practice. Asana, and we will meditate together and we will dance. So it'll be a good combination of effort and surrender. So I invite you to come. It's free. Donations are greatly accepted, and it'll start in a couple of weeks. It's super early, I know that. So for you early risers out there, you register at this link. It's scrolling. The Zoom room, and I'll see you then.
Excellent. Thank you. We're so privileged to have such great master teachers joining us to offer ways for us to realize all the dimensions and the power of keeping them in sync instead of just being, our minds on social media. Take a walk in nature this weekend. Get outside more and experience the awesome wonder of what it is to be alive on planet Earth. So we thank you for joining us this morning for Soul Call Sunday. And remember, wherever you are on the planet or whatever is happening, nothing evil, nothing good. My original face now means living from that inside. And remember always, if nothing else comes to your mind, that you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one